When you play the Game of Thrones,
Subscribe and like.
or you die. There is no middle ground.
All right, hello YouTube. Welcome back to the Grease Goblin Jr. channel. In today's video, we're going to be doing Day 13, or Mance Rayder in the Winds of Winter. This is a fascinating character because we don't necessarily know what his true position is. So we know that he's been sent on this mission by Melisandre to try and get Arya out of the castle. Now, we know this isn't actually Arya, it's Jane Poole, but we do know that this mission is, for the most part, successful. Yes, the Spearwives that Mance brings, a lot of them die, and Mance himself is probably compromised, or at least there's a lot of sus being put on him, given the people that, or the women that he brought with him, have helped Jane Poole escape, plus Theon himself. And so Mance is kind of in a rough position, but what really is he in, right? We don't know. Is he in this, cage that's being shown to the north by Ramsay and what he points in the pink letter? Is Mance Rayder really in hiding? Is he the real architect of the pink letter? There's a lot to really kind of figure out with Mance Rayder because he's a very complex character in terms of what is his motivation. His motivation seems to be, okay, if you believe that he wrote the pink letter, which I lean to more now. I think I was more like, I think when I started the channel, I was probably 70-30 on it being Ramsay. And I think as time's gone by each year, talking about this with the community in live streams, reading comments, even looking into more of the theories, I think based upon a lot of the language that is written within this letter and the information that would be known, the access that Mance would have to some of the information and the people, I think it is very logical that you could come to the conclusion that Mance wrote the letter. And so I think Mance is trying to get Jon and the Wildlings to come to Winterfell, not only to beat the Boltons, of course, but also to kind of help him escape, right? How is he going to get out of Winterfell? We see how difficult that is for Theon and Jane Poole, for instance. How is he going to survive? And so I think you put that into effect of, okay, he could also be in prison at this point. Maybe he wrote this letter right before he gets imprisoned. Maybe he's hiding, right? Like maybe Bran and Rickon, for instance. Maybe he's hiding even in the crypts. That could be a really interesting callback to the earlier books. All of that is very relevant. But the real question with Mance is, like, does he survive? Now, if Mance Rayder does get caught by the Boltons, I think he is for sure dead. I don't know a situation in which the Boltons would let him live if they realize who he is, right? And he's Mance Rayder, or even if he's a wildling, like they don't even realize it's Mance Rayder, but like they realize, oh yeah, this guy, he betrayed us and he came under this kind of peace banner or whatever, and singing, but he was all this time deceiving us. We know how Ramsay treats people like that. So either one, he's going to die, or he's going to be tortured to the extent of like Reek, for instance. So for me, Mance is a weird character because if you believe that he got caught, I think he'll be dead by the time Stannis takes the castle, or will be completely disfigured and completely gone. Now, the second option, which I like a lot more because I think it'd be very fascinating if Mance was able to live and be kind of whole by the end of the book. But I do find that I think Mance Rayder could be in hiding in Winterfell. Maybe that's in the crypts. Maybe that's just him hiding out, changing his disguises. He's very good at those things, sneaking into Winterfell. We see that in kind of the normal story where he sneaks in to see Robert Baratheon and Ned Stark when they are at Winterfell. And so Mance, to me, is someone that very easily could either A, maybe try to escape, or hide out. And I think what's even more interesting about the character of Mance, given we know that Stannis is going to do this battle of ice, and I think it's likely Stannis is going to win. I think of the two battles that Stannis is going to be involved in this book, this is the one I think is very likely he'll win. The more, I would say, harder to predict one is how does he take Winterfell, but I do think he will take it. Now, this video is not exactly about Stannis, but his plotline does revolve a lot around Mance, because if Stannis is to take the castle and he does find Mance Rayder, what is that going to do, right? How will Stannis react to the character of Mance Rayder being alive? Will Stannis spare Mance because he did save the fake Arya or Jane Poole? What will happen? What's going to occur when Mance Rayder has to basically tell Stannis that Melisandre fooled him and tricked him and kept him alive? What is that going to do? And Stannis is the man we know. I don't think that he would pardon Mance. Mance still broke his vows to the Watch. He is someone that openly was trying to bleed Westeros. He declared himself a king. All these different things that go completely against Stannis, and that's why originally Stannis wanted to burn Mance. And so when you think about when he's discovered, whether that's, the end of Winds of Winter or more towards the middle, I think the fate of Mance Rayder is not going to be great. Now, I do think we will see Mance Rayder live until at least Jon can reach Winterfell with Tormund and the Wildlings, because I think there's unfinished business there. I think seeing some more of the kind of the scenes we saw almost in the show where you have Jon and Mance, their last talks and stuff like that, could be replicated here once again, giving us more into the Mance character with Jon, because Mance and Jon are very connected characters. Jon looks up to Mance. He respects him quite a lot. And you also think about what this is going to do for the Wildlings, right? The Wildlings seeing that their leader actually kind of deceived everyone and was still alive. He could almost be viewed kind of like Jon, I think, will be viewed as kind of like this godly figure who cheated death. So that could be a really interesting part of it. And Stannis could even himself isolate the Wildlings away from his cause, be the reason maybe Jon and the Wildlings don't support Stannis in this last battle against the others at the very end of the book. All of those things are very possible. But Mance Rayder, I think, is condemned to die in this book. I don't think he can survive this book. I don't think it makes much sense to do so. I think even if you look at it from a narrative point of view, Jon is kind of becoming that leader of the Wildling faction. Having somebody like Mance there, I think, would just kind of split the leadership too much, that it would kind of take away some of that focus from Jon and who he's going to be as he's trying to get this second opportunity to be a leader and how he'll improve those things. You could also even gain things, right? You know, talking to Mance, Jon could find out how to be a better leader. Mance is one of the best leaders we've seen. Being able to take all these different people that have completely different customs, even languages, the way they even live are completely different. And he was able to unite all these people to march, you know, south and to call him a king. Jon was something that struggled in the last book and being able to do those things. How do you unite the Night's Watch with the Queensmen, with you know, the Wildlings and the Night's Watch? How do you do all those things? Jon was not very good at those things. And so Jon could learn a lot from the character of Mance Rayder. And that's why I do think we'll see probably a little bit more with those interactions. I think Tormund and Mance Rayder probably could have a last goodbye. But I do think the inevitable fate of him, Mance Rayder, will be he dies. But I think it'll also be something that helps with kind of taking away that trust with Stannis and Mel, because we do know Stannis is going to burn Shireen, and I am somebody that thinks there will be trickery involved. I think that Stannis is not actually going to declare that Shireen is to be burned, but it's going to be somebody else, and Melisandre is going to play the same trick. And so when Stannis realizes, okay, that Mance is still alive, that he used this trick, it's all going to kind of click together, and I think that'll be the thing that finally breaks Melisandre and Stannis. And so I think there's a lot here with this man's character. I think he has a lot more relevance to the story, and I don't think his story is going to end right at the beginning of Winds of Winter with him dying to the hands of the Boltons, although it is a possibility. It's a very good possibility. It would make a lot of sense. But I do think he has more to give to the story. And so I hope you guys all enjoyed this one talking about Mance Rayder. Not a long video, again, not a lot to really go off of outside of kind of the few points I've talked about. And the other part of it is, you know, Mance Rayder, we don't have a POV into his character outside of maybe Asha or Theon if Winterfell is taken. So how much of Mance will we even truly see? Again, I wouldn't expect to see much of Mance until the second half of the book, or maybe we're hearing rumors about what possibly is going on with the character. But yeah, I hope you guys all enjoyed. I'll see you guys all back in tomorrow's video, where we are going to be continuing our talks about the North, but shifting our focus to Howland Reed and Mage Mormont, who are still at the neck. But I'll see you guys all tomorrow in day 14.